leaders from 200 countries all over the world joined COP26 in Scotland. In Taiwan, a college student who is from a disadvantaged family grows up to reciprocate love from kind-hearted people. 歡迎收睇DaAi Headlines， 我係 Ruby 我哋一齊嚟睇下今日嘅內容。The United Nations Climate Change Conference (COP26) was held in Glasgow, Scotland. Participants from 200 countries put forward various action plans to jointly face the challenges brought about by intensified global warming and make every effort to prevent the global temperature from rising so as to avoid huge disasters caused by climate change. The UN Climate Change Conference, COP26, held its opening ceremony on October 31 with Tzu Chi participating once again.
Dharma Master says COVID is a very important lesson for all of us to learn, and what we take from this lesson is all the things that we want to share with everyone.
Every year we come back here to renew our statement. That's why compassion in action, faith-based innovation, that's the message every year we bring to COP.
10,000 males from 100 countries convey only one common aspiration: we have only one planet. The sense of humor in all cartoons expresses that for so many years, people just talk in COP, but not enough. On the opening day, a group of Buddhists who walk from London to North arrived in Glasgow to attend this COP26 feature, which has 9 different religious leaders to lead this prayer together.
Starting in London and walking all the way to Glasgow, about 500 miles.
Ask me what is my purpose.
We wanted to be a witness to the communities that we pass through, so we walked about 10 miles every day, and then we would engage with the local community and talk to them about climate justice and what needs to be done. We've been campaigning to get rid of fossil fuels for quite some time now. Get rid of fossil fuels.
Oh, sacred ones, you are the wind that breathes upon the ocean.
Hoping for unity in thought for all the COP26 negotiators.
The climate crisis, the planet, is something that people of all faiths deeply care about, and there was a really strong will here in Glasgow, in Scotland, the UK and around the world for people of all faiths to come together and to make their voices clear that we need action, we need real action now.
And our brothers and sisters, our neighbours across the world are starving, and some of them are dying, and their lives have been ruined because of the climate emergency. So therefore it's important for people of all the different faiths to come together today to see that we all have that common understanding of the beauty of the world.
To this vigil prayer from faith leaders of all over Scotland has been so spiritual. And I hope it goes to the COP26 negotiators and the political leaders, and they make the right, wise decisions for all of us.
When we think about it on our own, when we're isolated from each other, it's overwhelming, really. But when we come together, you know, as one human family and recognise this affects all of us, all life on our planet, and we feel that solidarity with people who are very different from us, but nevertheless care just as deeply as we do. I think that's really powerful.
In Thailand, Tzu volunteers hosted the first aid distribution for taxi drivers, each of whom can receive a package of 15 kilograms of rice, which should last them for at least 1 month. There were no passengers on this trip. The taxi driver just drove himself to collect 15 kilogram packs of rice and daily necessities.
Nowadays, the lives of taxi drivers are very difficult. Tzu Chi launched a distribution, allowing the taxi drivers who are living in difficulties to feel more at ease.
The distribution was held in a drive-through manner, which is more considerate and less burdensome for the recipients. It's really convenient and saves a lot of time. We can get the supplies quickly and then continue to work.
We open all day long for their convenience. If they drive nearby, they can drop by to collect the daily supplies.
Tzu Chi launches relief distribution for taxi drivers. It's really helpful for them because with these supplies, they can live for at least 1 month.
In the midst of hardship, one can learn to give and cultivate blessings.
Although it's not much money, putting it all together becomes a large sum, which can help a lot of suffering people.
On the 1st of November, Thailand reopened its country, hoping to revive the tourism industry that was hit hard by the pandemic. Taxi drivers are also looking forward to receiving tourists and resuming to normal life. Malaysia's COVID vaccination rate has reached the threshold of herd immunity, and all walks of life are gradually returning to normal. So the volunteers also started their activities, including home visitation. Recently, they called upon Rukumoney after 5 months, bringing her much-needed relief supplies.
After more than 5 months of the pandemic, Tzu Chi volunteers were finally able to visit Rukumoney, who lives alone.
Where did you get this recycling item? Oh, you use one, you using this. For 1 year already. 1 year, last year and then.
From the recent visit to Rukumoney, I'm glad that she's mentally good and positive now. She managed to keep her place neat and tidy and has kept the 1 year stuff, the recyclable stuff, in neatly packed to give to us for recycling.
Tzu Chi care recipient Rukumoney Krishnan responded to the 1013 movement and went on the streets with Tzu Chi volunteers in 2019 to raise funds. Although the 1013 movement could not be held as usual in the past 2 years, she did good deeds in another way. Besides doing recycling, she also donates to Bamboo Coin Bank.
Then I also learn with you how you're doing, how going us, how respect, and then I learn with you.
She has even saved the money bit by bit every day, and her monthly contributions in the bamboo coin box to donate to Tzu Chi, as she has the aspiration to help those who are more in need than her.
Then next time we need to find the...
During this visit, Tzu Chi volunteers repaired the door and faucet for her and also delivered jinks of food, providing warmth and compassion to this elderly person.
What kind of help was it that made a 23-year-old girl in Indonesia rekindle her spirit to live? The answer is a bed and money to treat her disease, which also reduced the burden of a single mother.
Dulu situ coba.
Minyak deh semalam tidurnya sih sekali. Jadi kan biasa tidurnya kurang nyaman ya.
I am very happy. I usually couldn't sleep well, but now I can. Since I was sick, I have lost much weight and found it hard to fall asleep. I am grateful for having this bed.
Gak nyaman lah tidurnya. Jadi suka sakit punggungnya itu kan. Nah ini kan bersyukur banget dapat tempat tidur. Lambung, sakit lambung. Nah terus udah sekolah di akhir.
I often have stomachache when I go to school. I even got high blood pressure. As it is not serious, I don't take medicine regularly. Until February 2017, I suddenly had stomachache for 3 days and couldn't eat anything. I spilled out every time I ate.
Lambung gitu, jadi nggak bisa makan, nggak bisa minum. Setiap masuk makanan muntah. Penyakitnya memang agak sulit juga ya, nggak diprediksi juga. Kita tidak tahu.
Her disease is really unpredictable. I hope that with this treatment, she can recover soon and does not need to undergo dialysis in the future. We don't know when she will be cured. It depends on her physical condition. I hope her health can improve and she can take good care of herself.
Jadi ya mudah-mudahan lebih baik aja lah dengan sambil dia menjaga kesehatannya juga.
Kan kepada Bunda Tzu Chi saya sangat berterima kasih
I am very grateful to the Tzu Chi volunteers. They have reduced my burden in life. And because of Tzu Chi's assistance, my kid is recovering from illness.
Dan berkat bantuan dari Buddha Tzu Chi, anak saya sekarang udah mulai sehat.
Also in Indonesia, a 16-year-old child who is from a disadvantaged family is hearing impaired and would get bullied in the past. Tzu Chi volunteers help him apply for financial assistance so that he can get a better hearing aid.
Senang sih, senang banget. Rasanya kayak apa ya?
I'm so happy because I can hear everyone's voice very clearly. In the past, the sound that came through was muffled and fuzzy.
I hope he can be like the other children to receive a normal education.
Selama ini kan agak terbatas gitu kan ya. Di sekolahnya itu dengan ada alat baru ini diharapkan sidik satu dapat.
We hope with this new hearing aid, it can help his schoolwork. Sidik is in the 7th grade at a normal school.
Sehingga bisa berbaur, tidak mengalami perbedaan dengan teman-teman yang lain. Karena dulu awal-awal sekolah.
In the past, he would get bullied, and that's why his parents want to help him get a better hearing aid.
Dia bukan maksimal juga kan? Iya.
Ya, saya sih kendalanya karena kan dia nggak cuman harus beli baha aja, dia harus beli kemarin kan operasi juga beli.
Our financial difficulty isn't simply about purchasing the cochlear hearing aid, but the fee associated with the surgery and the titanium hearing aid. I'm so glad that we heard about Tzu Chi from our friends who helped us successfully apply for financial help.
Dari teman-teman komunitas ada yang info, ada bantuan dari Tzu Chi, ya saya ikut mengajukan.
Year-old Xiao Kai is an excellent student and received admission to Zhongshan Medical University's Department of Social Work. He actually comes from a difficult background, as his father, 2 years ago, got sick and their family finances fell on his mother's shoulders. Tzu Chi volunteers accompany the families during these tough times. Take a look.
Whenever a basket goes in, I gain a sense of accomplishment. My stress is forgotten.
Thankfully, I have my brother. He's my biggest supporter. When my parents fight, my dad will yell, which scares me a little.
When they fight, it gets pretty bad and makes me question whether this is how a home should be. My dad's working hours are unpredictable. My mother has another part-time job besides her full-time job. The first job was at a hot pot place. There were so many people, it was tiring. I took on the job to pay for my own things such as the tuition and cell phone bill.
I often feel bad for my children, but they are very mature and I don't have to worry about their grades ever. So no matter how hard I have to work, when I think about how it's for my children, I know it's worth it.
那把我们要做哪里？你就把这些枝干先拖到那边放，好，放一整堆。
One time I rode my scooter and I fell. I had a brain hemorrhage. I've continued with physical therapy, but the symptoms continue, and I have lost much of my balance.
If we come to help our dad, then we can gain a sense of the difficulties in his job as a horticulturist.
这边这些干的不要的，很难剪哦，手要小心，不要剪到手。好。 来，欢迎！
哎，我们来了哦。
那个师傅是我们存的竹筒，就是我们想说要尽一份心力，让你们去捐疫苗，抢救生命。
The mother is a new immigrant from Vietnam, and in the 2.5 years of getting to know the family, we see the parents' relationship is also getting better, and they are listening and following the children's opinions.
We don't fight anymore, and the kids can see and feel the difference.
My major is social work at Zhongshan Medical University. During my path of education, I've received a lot of help from kind-hearted people. If I have the ability in the future to help someone else, I will and should. No matter if you come from a good or bad environment, if you try your best, you'll be rewarded with the best outcome possible.
203 Tzu Chi volunteer training participants from Yunlin, Jiayi, Nantou, Kaohsiung, and Pingtung visited Huanan's Jingsi abode and learned from the Dharma masters. They also shared their initial aspiration of joining Tzu Chi. Although some of them have faced the suffering of losing their beloved family members, they wanted to turn their little love into great love to help others and maintain a merciful heart.
203 volunteer training participants visited the Jingsi abode.
Because we have already walked on the path of Bodhisattva, the path of the Bodhisattva is the closest route to Buddhahood.
Tzu Chi volunteer training participants deeply feel the Dharma is in their everyday life.
Tzu Chi is a way of practice and a charity organization combined.
I was here in 2001 and received my first blessing from the Master.
At the time of joining the group, Dr. Cai Ren-bi of the Jiayi Tzu Chi Clinic was the first graduate of the Department of Medicine of Tzu Chi University. During his 20 years of practicing medicine, he had not only showed his professional skills, but also devoted himself to doing charity.
I thoroughly examined some of my behaviors, only to realize my temper and habits. Although in these 20 past years, I have done a lot of things that I think I should have done, but none of them seem to be well-rounded.
Zhang Shujuan from Thailand shared that her youngest son, who is physically and mentally disabled, died at the age of 24. Serves as her inspiration to join Tzu Chi.
Every time I think of him, I'm so sad that I don't dare go out. It's also because of my son's words encouraging me to go out, as I mustered up the courage.
Faced with the suffering of a departing family member, of the dearest and relatives, volunteer training participant wants to turn a little love into great love, turning their troubles into more responsibility.
慈济人呢，就是行菩萨道的人。我们要广度众生。今天大家以慈济为荣，来日啦，师父会因为你们为荣，因为你们行菩萨道，人间菩萨。 我有这么多的菩萨在人间，不光荣吗？我真的很欢喜。
By changing your mind, adjusting your life direction, one can do the right thing.
In order to raise vaccine funds, Tzu Chi volunteers from different areas contributed their efforts to cook vegetarian food for charity sale. Volunteers in Fengyuan Jingsi Hall cooked veggie sticky rice, while volunteers in Yunlin's Beigan cooked braised vegetarian items. Although some of them suffered from physical illness, they were still willing to contribute their efforts to end the pandemic.
In the kitchen, everyone is busy washing and preparing ingredients happily. These braised vegetarian items are to be sold to raise COVID vaccine funds. After undergoing kidney surgery, Huang Ruifang can only lie down as sitting and standing leads to pain and discomfort, though he could not miss this event.
Although I have physical pain while participating in this activity, I will forget the pain.
Chen Huirong, who has suffered from nasopharyngeal cancer for more than 10 years, coexists peacefully with the cancer in her body and always adheres to a vegetarian diet.
Through this event, we can support the vaccine and also let the public become vegetarian together, making a good impression about vegetarianism.
In order to prevent the pandemic, volunteers made veggie sticky rice for charity sale at Fengyuan's Jingse Hall.
If I can help a little, I can give everyone a chance to cultivate a blessing.
Not afraid of being tired, Mrs. Zhuo traveled to many places where many kind-hearted people donated rice, oil, and mushrooms. Everyone responded enthusiastically to this charity act.
Many people are very enthusiastic and come here to support us. So the brothers and sisters have come to support this activity and do it together.
This activity allowed everyone to make a contribution to raise funds to purchase vaccines.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi chapter launched the Health Challenge 21 event, inviting 117 participants to go vegetarian for 21 days. 2 restaurants have taken the challenge to make a total of 42 plant-based meals with less salt, sugar, and oil for the participants. The chefs have even changed their original cooking method so that the participants can eat healthily. The vegetarian lunch boxes, with different kinds of tempting dishes, are lined out on the table. They are all for the Health Challenge 21 event organized by Tzu Chi chapter and are made in accordance with specific standards to achieve a balanced diet. 2 restaurants took the challenge to provide a total of 42 plant-based meals with 2 meals a day for the participants.
We found that the purpose of this event and their needs are the same as what we want to do, so we decided to take this challenge. And for vegetarian dishes, the most important thing is to use neutral ingredients. As we have neutral ingredients, we don't have to keep its original appearance, so we insist on doing a lot of things by ourselves. I don't want to buy ready-made ingredients, as there are a lot of additives and preservatives.
In fact, in this way, it's easier for me to cook, more convenient and simpler. I don't need to fry or deep fry anything. The seasoning can be very simple too, with different surprises every day. For example, today's lunchbox is very delicious. Our customer would tell me that he likes it very much. I hope our customers can feel our mindfulness.
The vegetarian meals not only contain less salt and less sugar, but also less oil. In order to be both healthy and delicious, the panel of judges and restaurant chefs have put a lot of thought into it.
We're very grateful to them for their willingness to meet our requirements, especially for the chefs. It's a completely new concept. They need to adjust their traditional cooking method and their mindset to cook a solely plant-based diet. This is actually a very important issue, allowing the participants to eat at ease, and at the same time, their health can also be taken care of.
Every dish is not only healthy, but also can develop into good eating habits. 30 students from Kaohsiung Kaishuan Elementary School went to the Orthodox Center to study the Taiwan culture. In addition to learning the indigenous language, there are also handprints of the Taiwan ethnic group. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and see you next time.